Hello, guys. Welcome to this week's session of the ACID program. Happy New Month to everyone. I hope you're having a great week and a great month. I wish you all the best. So, today we're having a very interesting topic: 10 survival tips for startups. Alright, let's get started already. By the way, my name is Eddie. I don't often say my name, I don't know why, but okay. My name is Eddie, and I'm kind of always the coach for this session. So, first of all, what is a startup? A startup is a company that is in the initial stages of business. They are still in the growth stage. They are just coming up. That's why they are called startup. Every startup wants to grow with the goal of disrupting the market. There are other definitions of startups. We can say a startup is a temporary organization designed to search for a repeatable and scalable business model. Also, we can say a startup is a series of untested hypotheses. Now, as startups, we learn from others ahead. We learn from books we read, from seminars we attend, even from our own personal experiences, and we have other means by which we learn and grow. Now, these tips have been compiled to aid everyone trying to start up a business. So right now we're going to look at 10 survival tips for every startup. Number 1, be a success kind of founder. Interesting, right? Okay, first of all, you starting off something, it's okay and normal to address you as the founder, right? Okay, so good founders have an absolute conviction that they can do the impossible and are confident and brave enough to make big bets and take implausible leaps of faith on this path, whatever path they've decided to work on. Great founders listen, learn, and evolve through new realities, learnings, and voices at the table. First of all, to survive as a startup, you need to be the success kind of person. You need to be someone who believes in yourself, believe in your product, believe in whatever business model you are trying to start up. Just believe in yourself, because if you as the founder, you don't even trust yourself, you don't even trust your business model, you don't even believe in the fact that you can actually start up a business and see that business standing for a very long time, then I don't know how exactly you intend to do it. So as a founder, you have to first of all believe in yourself, believe in your own success. Number 2, seek to understand. In this world, it is not your knowledge that brings value, but your capacity to learn and evolve. Seek to understand before being understood. I hope you get that line. As a startup, you need to focus on listening to, understand, and seeking out both the known and unknown ways of working and company culture. Okay, you want to start out in a particular niche or industry. How well do you know that industry? How well do you know about that business you want to venture into? It's not just enough to just say, okay, I want to go into this business, and you know nothing about it. You have to first of all understand the kind of business you are going into, understand how the industry works. Number 3, commit to learning. Okay, first of all, I'd like to let you know that you know nothing, absolutely nothing. Across many walks of life, your knowledge is what is valued most. In school and in the workplace, it's often what you know that separates you from others, right? If you think about it now, large companies execute known business models. Like, they know their customers, they know their products, they know their competitors. They literally know everything. That's why they are large companies. They are not startups. They've been there before. For example, they know that if they do X, they are likely going to get Y. But for startup, it is not like that. So your ability to embrace a growth mindset that can exponentially accelerate learning is what counts. Always commit yourself to learning. You are a startup. You need to learn, keep learning, and evolve. Number 4, live away from the office. Okay, let me explain that. Solutions would always materialize at your desk unless you are speaking to customers and trying to understand their pain points and the customer problem you are trying to solve. Constantly find time to connect with the underlying customer opportunity and set your product market fit. Very important, product market fit. You want to make sure you are building what the customer wants and needs, not what you think they want and need. So always help the business test their assumptions. Test, learn, improve, and repeat. This is why it's very important for everybody who wants to start a business to have a knowledge of product management. Okay, you cannot just think about an idea. It may sound cute to you and all that, but trust me, it may not even be a problem. You need to know what the problem really is. Like the customers you're trying to solve a problem for. Is that problem actually theirs? Like, are you solving their problem, or you're just solving what you think is a problem? You should solve the customer's problem. Know what the customer wants and need, not what you just think they want and need. And when during my PM course, product management course, we had this we are growing a business, is an online car purchasing platform. The first thing we did is to first of all validate the markets. We first of all send out survey, conduct interviews, just to know what exactly is the customer's pinpoint, what exactly are their problems, before we even start coming up with more ideas and building of a platform and everything. So you don't just think about something and say yes, it's cute, and just go ahead. It will not even be the problem you should be solving. So always leave away from the office, go outside, speak to your customers. You may not be able to meet every one of them like physically. You can send out survey forms, conduct interviews. It doesn't have to be physically, as long as you can get feedback, opinions from your potential customers. Number 5, do more to learn more. Startups are all about learning, and to learn you must do. So do more to learn more. Be more by being less than picture perfect. Now, one thing you should know is that startups thrive when everyone is comfortable and confident to be their authentic selves. Right from the start, do not try to live up to the picture perfect standard. Just be yourself and be vulnerable. I mean, you're a startup. It's okay to be always open and upfront when doing something for the first time. Feel free to feel nervous. Yes, you're free to be nervous. Given the nature and scale of startups, most people are doing things for the first time. If you look at most startups, it's their first time. That's why they're called startups in the first place. Like, this is the first time they're trying something out. So rather than fake it, just call it out. Then everyone can band around in the mess and brave if required to step into the unknown. Number 6, focus and prioritize. Startups can sometimes be super busy, and then it makes them unproductive. Do not be a sponge and take more and more on. Rather, try to understand what matters most. A lot of startups get lost in the tyranny of the urgency of the now. So focus on understanding what matters most and what can turn the die fast with maximum impact. Once you identify these big wins, relentlessly execute them. This takes us to number 7 tip. Execute on what matters most. Get clarity on what matters and run with it. Most startups lose momentum when team members get stuck in the planning and not doing. You just plan and plan, keep planning without doing anything. You're not going to get any outcome. Startups lose momentum when people need total clarity or perfection to move forward. Everything doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to have the perfect equipment, the perfect staff, the most skilled workers, or the perfect location. Startups lose momentum when people get stuck unless they have visibility on all strategic elements. Everything doesn't have to be perfect, okay? There's this saying that if you're not ashamed of your first launch, then you launch late. Momentum in a startup is either your best friend or worst enemy. And startups need momentum to be their best friend, of course. Startups need executioners and doers, as they are all about outcomes and not activities. So with all your planning, try to make sure you do, else it will just be total waste. Alright, so it's number 8. Share credit with others. The most important people in a startup, even more than the founder, are those in the team you work closely with. So always share the credit with others and take the blame on yourself. You have to do that part. Working to make your peers shine is better than you shine. Trust me, you should put them first. Startups are often small and informal enough that channels of communication get to the top quickly. So if you're adding value to your peers, you are creating a currency of value. Okay, so number 9, innovation and scarcity. Startups are in a race against time, and constraints are often a key driver of innovation. Whether it is time, money, resources, or capacity, no one in a startup should get a blank check. Always try to embrace this scarcity. The easiest answer might be that you need more time, more money, or more people to get the job done, but it might not always be the best one for you or the business. Like I said, you don't have to have the best of everything. Okay, just make do with whatever you have. Be innovative, even in the midst of scarcity. Be creative, make do with whatever you have, and with time you will grow. Number 10, embrace change. Often in startups, you hear of change fatigue, where people feel that change needs to slow down. Startups, by their nature, are about to change. That's why they're called startups, right? In the beginning, we made mention that a startup, or startups are a series of untested hypotheses. It's a growing stage. You can change. The fact that you started on a particular niche doesn't mean you will continue with that niche forever and ever. It's okay to change. Sure, leadership can always improve. Clarification, communication, and alignment. That is a given in any business. Leaning into and embracing the searching element of a startup can help to sustain a culture of constant change and innovation in the company's evolution. So always give yourself open to change. Don't be constrained. Don't constrain yourself to anything. Feel free to transit, to switch. Just be free. It's a free word. Alright, so conclusion. Essentially, startups are focused on trying to understand the customer problem and searching for a business model to solve that problem. The business model must become scalable and repeatable to become a business. If your model doesn't become scalable and repeatable, there's no how it's going to become a business. It's just going to be one of those startups that never survive the first 3 years of their life. I saw a survey result one time, and the percentages of business that dies, or should I say vanishes, I don't know, within the first 2 years, it's just super high. Trust me, your model must become scalable or repeatable, else there's no way it's going to become a business. Now, a viable and sustainable startup venture lives in the intersection of 3 key elements. Let's take a look at them. Number 1, business model. Is it possible to create the underlying model necessary to solve the customer problem? I made mention of this before. Your business model, it must be what solves the customer problem. It must be scalable and repeatable. Number 2, customer value. Even if you create the model and delivery, does anyone value it enough to pay for it? If it does not solve a customer problem, how would they even pay for it? There are some problems that are not, there are some solutions that are not worth paying for. That's how you need a product market fit. You need to first of all validate your market, know what your customer wants, and try to solve their problem, not what you think is the problem. So number 3, financial sustainability. Even if we create the solution and someone pays us for it, will they pay us enough that we can cover all of our expenses and have enough left over to pay wages and reverse back into the business? You see, these 3 questions are very important. You need to ask yourself. This question determines if your business will survive. Will my business survive? Will your business survive? These 3 questions are key. Number 3 talks about financial sustainability. Someone once said, your customers are not those that just pay for your product or service once and then that's it. No, your customers are people who can come back and pay again, continue to pay. The flow of income is what survives a business. Will they pay you enough that you can cover all of your expenses and have enough left over to pay your workers and then reverse back into the business? If these 3 things are not in place, I'm sorry, you have to reconsider that business you want to start up. Now, it's all about getting the maximum amount of customer information and market learning at the lowest possible cost to make a profit. You want to start that business? Ask yourself these questions. Follow the 10 tips I just mentioned in this video. Ask yourself necessary questions and try to make sure that number 1, you are not solving the wrong problem. If you start by solving the wrong problem, you just have to start again. Alright, so weekly declaration. This is my favorite part of every session. Okay, so it's a new week. First of all, I want to ask, how well have you been taking our previous declarations? Okay, I have my reservations. Well, you can let me know in the comments. You can let me know how serious you have been taking it, and if it has helped you in any way, just let me know. Alright, so new week, new month, new declaration. Let's go. So your hands on your heart, hand actually, not to put hands, your hand on your heart. Alright, so I have an absolute conviction that I can do the impossible, and I am confident and brave enough to make big bets and take impossible leaps of faith on my choosing part. So help me God. Yeah, I have to add that part. It's not easy starting up business. You really need God's help. You know your planning and everything. Always make sure you put God into it and be the success kind of founder. That is what this declaration is actually about from our number one tip. Be the success kind of person. Believe in yourself first of all before others can believe in you. You have to trust yourself that what you've started, you see it through to the end. So as usual, this is our contact card. You should reach us. We are always there to answer. So thank you for watching till this time. Really appreciate. And once again, happy new month. Do have a blessed month, a blessed week. I wish you success, great achievements, everything good. Alright, so bye guys. See you next week Monday. Bye.